I succeeded. Worked. What the hell is this? Went to a two-room schoolhouse for elementary school. The little room went up to the third grade, I think, and then we went to the next room, big room, for the fourth grade, up to the seventh, and then we were bused 20 miles into Traverse City for high school. But while I was at that school, one of the good neighbors that lived out at the end of Old Mission volunteered to teach us how to make things. 4-H, healthy hands, hearts, so forth, which is quite well known in rural circles for kids to learn to make things. And it was fun going there. About 8 to 9 of us would show up to go into the basement of the school for the teaching. And then we would come out and it would be dark by the time we came out. And it was outside the school, and there was a large maple tree in the schoolyard. And we liked to climb up in that tree and climb up into the big, wonderful limbs that it offered to us. And one of the guys couldn't get his fat little self up into the tree, and he would get angry at us and start throwing stones or just cursing at us. And one day his big moon face appeared to me, looking up at the tree, ready to curse at us. I had this awful impulse to do something, and what I did was pee right in his face. And he was so angry, it was beyond belief. And rocks started flying, bigger and bigger rocks into the tree, taking chips out of the limbs. And all the guys up in the tree were cursing at me for having done that and endangered our lives. And he was beside himself so much that he just started to cry. And his emotions got the best of him, and he couldn't throw rocks anymore. And we had a chance to climb out of the tree.
Sewing with Nancy is a co-production of Nancy Zeman Productions and Wisconsin Public Television.
Cooler, no bark. Hey, there, David. How you doing?
When I was about 13, I needed, no, this was when I was about 18. I needed money for college. And we had a restaurant at one time out at the end of the old Mission Peninsula. And we had this idea that I could run a restaurant single-handedly if we could find something very easy to cook. And I really wasn't a cook at all. And we found out that Pfizer Brothers, Felsler Brothers in Chicago, who handle a lot of meat, were experimenting with bags that you drop into boiling water, and they had the complete meal in the bag. In this case, we were using things like good meat that you could put on sandwiches, and you just drop it in the boiling water and pull out the great meat and make various breads, sandwiches with it, and serve it to people. And I could run a restaurant on my own. And it worked for the most part. Just boiling water was all you needed. There, come on, Buck. Take more than that one. At age 80, I was going to take a kayak down the river, the Manistee River. And first problem was getting me into the kayak. And we had a blind guy and another guy helping me in and arguing over getting me in. And in the meantime, I stepped into muck up to my knee and they had to pull me out and then get me into the kayak. I followed my friend downriver, occasionally going sideways, sometimes grounding for a moment and trying to shove off, and in general, making the trip longer than it should have been. But when we got to the dock of the house that we were going to, he yelled at me how to get in, and I had the good fortune of going directly upside of the dock. But then we couldn't get me out of the kayak, try as we would. And he tried everything he could to try to help me to get out of it. Finally, I just threw myself out onto the gravel and into the water. And now I had muck all over my feet from the getting into the kayak, and I had water up to my neck.